pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman O'Flaherty. Councilman Castillo.
Here.
Councilman Mtg.
Present.
And Supervisor Limbaugh.
Present. So would you like to make a motion to, approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve, the minutes for
February 4th.
February 4th.
Second. On the vote?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion. That was split, not to read it, and move it to the end.
Well, dispense with reading the.
And make a motion to dispense from reading the minutes.
I'll second it. On the vote?
Aye.
Okay. I just have one addition for now. Donna Egan sent me a, email on Earth Day, and there was, you should have found something in your mailbox. Have to look it over and decide, what we want to do with that. I guess they want to, I guess promote Earth Day, but they want to do it up at the transfer station. So we're going to have to decide how we're going to do this, because I guess we're going to have to maybe rope off an area, and there's things, like I said, on the, if you look at this paper here, it tells you what they want to do. So we also, have to make a decision, so that everybody's safe, and it doesn't interfere with people going up there. And I guess we should talk to Cheryl too and get her take on it.
Yeah, because we haven't done anything like that. What is it considered, them bringing stuff up there?
Well, just
disposing?
making people aware on recycling. I guess apparently they reached out before to the town and nobody's responded to them, so.
This is the first time I heard it.
Well, that's what I got in the email today, so
Yeah.
I'm going to respond,
Yes.
but I also want the consensus of the board.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, if you guys can take a look at this and,
And put it on for next meeting?
we could, it's, April 23rd, which is Earth Day.
Okay.
So this way we could let them know, what we wanna do or don't wanna do,
Right.
okay?
As long as my main concern, as long as it doesn't have anything to do with putting up there free, because transfer station is bleeding money.
You don't have to tell me. I know
So,
that.
nothing free is gonna go up there, that's what I'm saying.
No.
You mean something for free, more nothing at cost?
Nothing at a cost for the town.
Yes.
I think it's more awareness
Okay.
for people to do more recycling so that people, lean that way, I guess.
Yep.
Do you guys wanna do public input now, or you wanna do it at the end?
We should do it in the beginning, because it's probably,
Okay,
nobody,
okay.
runs away.
I'm not gonna go anywhere, we got a captive audience, what do you think? Anyway, I guess I'll make a motion with, what is 7:04 PM, to, open the floor for public input.
Second.
On the vote?
Aye.
Yeah.
This document that, you were just referring to about Earth Day, who did it come from, what was it about?
Donna Egan, I don't know, I've heard that she's got something to do with Girl Scouts, and what it's about is, like I said, awareness of, different things to be done, give you, what we got, and you can look at it, it's more or less just to make people aware of recycling, different things,
What can be recycled?
correct, electronics, scrap metal, appliances, and other things, how to help reduce your carbon footprint, meet your elected officials, well, I guess they want us up there. Receive a free tree or seed pack if you recycle, and purchase your annual transfer station permit for $35, and learn how to save money by recycling and paying per bag, for disposal. So,
20 senior citizens.
excuse me?
$20.
Oh, for
Senior
your
citizens.
coupons, yeah.
Don't forget us, Mike.
Excuse me?
Don't forget us.
I'm not forgetting us, I'm just reading what was here, I didn't print this is what was, I took off the email, so apparently they don't know that probably it's $25 for seniors. We know it, but anyway. Did I answer your question?
I think so.
Okay. And
Well, basically, she asked my question, but, I'm not sure which group it was. I know it was presented before the town board prior to this, but on the last few years, it's been done at the library, because I remember them giving out a tree and all that other stuff. So,
okay, well, I mean, it's new for me,
The
but,
recycling Earth Day trees?
well, they planted trees for us.
Oh, they planted it.
Yeah, they give you
No,
a
they give you a
sapling.
seedling.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Kathy?
I only assume you got the, text about the computer?
Yes, I just mentioned it to Willie, that, Saunter sent, information. It's a, Chromebook.
Lenovo.
What's it called?
Lenovo
Oh, Lenovo, okay.
Chromebook.
Chromebook, okay. And it goes for around $180 and change plus tax. So the last meeting, there was a few of these residents that said they would, just have a fundraiser, donate the, what do you call that thing, the pad? Yeah, so that way the, meetings could be filmed live. So I know, we were gonna look on, and see if we had money on a line item for that.
Yeah, and I think, you could share that with us and at the next meeting, we could vote on it.
Okay.
We should check to see if we have it, and not
Yeah.
get one for us, or we'll.
Could you talk a little louder,
Okay.
please?
Just
Okay.
so you know, I've fundraised, pledged, I have pledges a little over $100 raised.
Okay.
So I could donate the money, I could however you wanna work it. But I think it would be good for Sarah, make less work for her, number one, less work for Annette. And if either person, is out, at least, we can still move forward with if you need somebody to set it up, I have a tech guy in the area too.
The thing is, we have this, and we could also look on the state budget and see if there's anything.
Well, we're willing to help you.
But I'll tell you right now, if you have the 100, I'll give you another 100, and you can get it tomorrow.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Oh, okay.
Got a vote on
Do
it,
you
right?
need somebody to set it up too? Cause I have connections.
Let's check and see if we have it in the line item.
Okay, we'll check it in the line.
Yeah,
If
let's
not,
check and see
if we don't have the money in the line item, I would gladly donate
Yeah,
the other 100.
somebody that, who's worked in that field.
Okay?
Yeah,
And I'm not
Willie's
gonna-
our tech, he's our tech guy.
And I'm not running for anything, so this is not a political gesture.
Well, you don't have to run.
Not running on, you're walking.
Slowly.
So I'll drop that off to your office, Frank?
Yeah, you could. Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Is there anyone else that, would like to say something? Nothing?
I still feel that at the last meeting, when you had to go into executive session and discuss the ambulance district, we all should have been here.
I will take that under advisement. I'm not gonna get into that discussion now again,
That's okay.
but,
Well, when it comes to public opinion, when everything gets settled, there will be hearings on it. And then the town, the residents can, vote on that. Or give their opinion, sorry, not vote, give their opinion.
well, we're going to have public hearings, which
Yes.
we did state at that meeting.
Yes, we are.
It was just that the county attorney wanted to go into executive session. We didn't totally agree, but we did it just so we could
It
get.
wasn't our idea.
And then it seemed to me like, if, maybe he didn't want us to ask questions. So you could have just asked us to listen and not ask questions,
Now, you know you can't do that.
It was really
You know
cold
you're
out
not
there.
gonna do that. You know you're gonna put your hand up.
Well,
No, if I was asked not to answer,
We're not-
I would.
I'm just kidding with you.
we're not gonna do that again, because he was the attorney for the county, he wasn't our attorney.
Right.
So technically, that would have been for us to go into executive session, not them, but, things got a little heated, so we did it that way, cause he was here, Everett was here from the county, we had people from the on the committee for the three, fire departments, so, like I said, we were just trying to get something started here, because right now we're at a disadvantage, because a lot of time has lapsed when this thing should have been started last year, and now we're starting it, and we have to have this thing complete by budget season, so it doesn't really give us a lot of time here, so, you know, we're gonna try to do the best we can and make this thing work, so, you know, and I'm asking you, as residents of the town, to try to work with us, but we're gonna try to do the best we can.
Well, I think it's really important.
We all do, trust me, we all do. It's, we know that, so anyway.
Would the police chief and assistant chief want to speak on, are they here?
I wanted to see how the meeting, I came to.
We're here to answer any questions, and, you know, we have a monthly command staff meeting, and I think that somebody, one of us representative, whether it's a sergeant, deputy chief, or myself, should be present in case any questions are asked, so you don't have to tell the public, we'll get back to you, we should be able to answer it right away.
And I appreciate you guys coming in and saying that.
I do too,
Makes it easier for us.
I do too. Oh, Kathy?
I was curious, there was a protest at Hannaford's.
Yeah, well, 10 people, but go ahead.
12, 10, 9, or 8, there was a protest, it was kind of a first in the area, as far as I'm concerned. What were they protesting?
Caged, Sergeant Vassar, would you reflect on that? Sergeant Vassar was
Well,
watching.
I was there watching the police and everything,
Now,
and
poor
I was
Sergeant
kinda
Baxter
curious.
he was in a panic, but.
I wasn't in the line though.
No, he handled it very well. I mean,
Yes, I saw him on the side, on the phone.
They were complaining that,
Oh, the answer about the eggs?
Hannaford's does not sell enough, caged eggs.
Okay, cage
Cage
free.
free.
Cage free,
Cage
they don't
That's
they
what
don't
I-
promote them, they don't sell enough
Yeah.
of them. To be honest, I spoke to, Councilman, Fazio. The town has to get something in play for us to have a leg to stand on to try to enforce something with that. They were on a public sidewalk, freedom of speech, our hands were kinda tied, unless maybe there's some town ordinance that they could put on the books.
Can I say one thing about that protest?
Sure.
Because it involves-
Kathy, directive, questions to the board.
Can I say one thing about the protest? Well, he started with the protocol.
Yeah.
If they're using a megaphone, that could be, like a catch where they, it's one thing if they walk with a sign, but the megaphone in place, I know there's other districts, I talked to a retired friend of mine from the police department, and they told me that in their area, if they use a megaphone, they can't, proceed with.
Well, I don't know enough about that unless it's violating our noise ordinance.
Right,
Other than
there
that,
has to be a town
I-
ordinance.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can stop them from using it, but the thing is, I guess they were on the sidewalk, or no?
Yes, they were.
I think they were, so, and that's not private property.
you're not allowed to, block pedestrian traffic, you're not allowed to block entranceway traffic. As soon as the sergeant had a chat with them, which, not that they were uncooperative, but they weren't really that cooperative as far as, who's in charge, what's your name, no, I'm not gonna tell you, that's fine. They left shortly thereafter. They were parked in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, correct, Sarge?
Yeah, that's correct, and, the vehicle came back, they had a rental vehicle when we ran the plate, so.
Just so you know, they were from New England. They were,
Sure.
imported
offer a
to
solution?
the area.
Was there any solutions offered?
Because they weren't selling enough.
Just protest.
Yeah.
But they do sell them, when you go shopping there, you have a choice.
Well, usually
You can
you
buy
can offer a
cage free or
solution.
cage egg.
Sales are down that week, I guess.
Kathy, again.
I just wanna let you know, I shop at Hanford all the time, my most recent trip, they are flooded with cage free eggs right now. I don't think even my regular right now.
Well,
They're very
I
expensive.
mean,
You got the person in the back, you just go get 'em.
Yeah, probably, behind them.
when they were building Hannaford's, the union protested, they had the rat, and there was really nothing you could do, and they even did it, Stop and Shop in New Paltz, they were protesting, so.
They work.
Well, the point is, I mean, like the deputy chief said, if they're not blocking entranceways or whatever to impede the customers from going in and out of the store, and they're on public property, Right, we don't, and I don't even know if we could, pass a law that you can't protest, I'm sure.
Well, we could pass some kind of
A permit.
law,
A permit.
We'll have a permit to, but I don't think you could stop them altogether,
No, it's a permit.
so. I
but
mean,
it's
Gives you
whether they're on
gives you
public
notice when they're
property,
gonna do it, time,
private.
place, that's what
This
it does.
way, you can protect
Right.
them and the
Right.
residents.
That's what it does, it gives you notification ahead of time, instead of in a quick instance like that, they just pull up and start with a permit, they have to fill everything out,
Exactly.
it's documented, a chief, deputy chief, whatever. We know there's gonna be a protest this day, this time, at this location, be prepared,
Right.
that's what it comes down to.
So we're looking at it with our lawyer and get back to you in 2 weeks what we will. Just where we can get a resolution.
And that,
If the board decides on that. So-
yeah, we can talk about that in
Yeah.
executive session.
Yes.
And-
If you can't block the entrances, and basically you were saying they can't be on the sidewalk to block.
No, you can't.
No, they can, because that's public property, it's not private
Yeah,
property.
but there was something about.
As long as they're in motion, they've got to
Right,
keep
they
in
can't
motion.
stop it,
Right.
it's, stop people from walking up and down the sidewalk.
Okay, so then if they're on the sidewalk, that's fine, they just have to move
Correct.
if somebody.
I mean, it's no different than New York City, everybody moving on the sidewalk.
It sounded like you wanted them in the road.
No. That's
They
a
have to be,
possibility.
they have to be on the one side of the white line, because I protested with the union, and, you know, public property, you really, there's nothing except for a permit, that's the only way you could really notify the police, and that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, Rose.
Wouldn't the police department give permits for that?
No, that would probably come from the town clerk.
Oh, okay. It's different in the city,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, sir.
We could.
Yes.
We could. Any more questions? No? Then I'll make a motion that we close public input at 7:18 PM.
Second.
I vote aye. Okay.
I'd like to thank the police officers for coming in.
All the reports, our monthly reports are in the table in the back for January 2026. So if you want, you can get them back there. And then maybe if you looked at them, had any questions, while the chief and deputy chief are here, you want to ask them something, you can. Okay, next will be the old business. We had the justice audit resolution, we have that, the audit was done. So,
and everything was balanced out.
okay, so I'll make a motion to adopt the following resolution, number 29 of 2026. Whereas the Uniform Justice Court, ACE, requires the town justice annually provide their court records and dockets to their respective towns auditing board, and that such records are examined or audited and that face be entered into the minutes of the town proceedings. And whereas the town board of the town of Platicille is the town auditing board that would perform the examination and audit on the town justice court records and dockets. And whereas the Platicille Town Board members, Councilman Castillo Jr. and Councilman Fazio, did meet and review the Platicille Justice Court records and dockets from 2025. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Platicille acknowledges that the examination was completed on 2/10/2026. Can I have a second, please?
Second time.
Second, all on the vote?
Aye.
Okay.
I would like to piggyback something on that, since we're on this right now. I asked the question during the audit on the money that is the tickets that the police do on behalf of the town. It's not the ones from the state, it's the other ones.
Mhm.
Whether
What
it's,
special envelopes for, didn't we?
yes, we bought special tickets.
They're parking tickets.
Yes, that's the one we broke
Yeah,
down.
parking enforcement.
Parking enforcement. And, when I talked to the chief today, he expressed that, and I agree with him, that if a person doesn't protest the ticket, that would be a good idea to have the town clerk collect it. But there's always a possibility that they will say, "I'm gonna fight this ticket because it's unjust." So, in order to avoid that, I wanna make sure that all tickets go to the court, we could do it,
Itemize it? Well, I mean, that's
Put it
the way
on-
it's being done now,
right,
so we should just leave it the way.
but there's no line item, that they will put a line item for those tickets, that what is going into the general fund on that.
Well, I guess we could talk to them and, I mean, that would be their bookkeeping. to
Yes,
do.
that will be their booking, but this way, if anybody protests a ticket.
Well, this
It
is where it
goes to the
should be
court.
argued, at the
Yes.
court, not
So-
with our clerk.
So I thought we could have our town clerk do it, but that's a bad idea, we wanna keep it the way it is right now.
We wanna stay on good terms with her.
Yes.
All right.
But I wanna maybe put it on record that we need to say.
Okay, that's fine. I concur.
Mike, could I jump in for 1 second? We don't have it down, but just so everybody knows, the police chief told you before. I went and did the last inspection for the tow trucks, Modena Automotive. The trucks were there, everything was on the up and up, so our list is complete.
Do we need to make a motion to?
You should, because your motion
Yes.
the other.
Okay, all right, then, I'll make the motion that we add Modena, was it repair? No,
Modena Automotive.
Modena Automotive to the towing list, since Mr. Fazio, went back and verified that the registrations and the plates, were all valid.
Second that.
On the vote?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, I was gonna put that back. I guess next would be the decommissioning law, so, Mr. O'Flaherty, that's you're on.
So, this is a law that I've been researching probably now for almost a year. I've used some of my own, resources in terms of some of the knowledge and know-how, people that I, confide in, and then what I was really looking at trying to do was, protect our town in the sense of, we get these projects that come in that require decommissioning components to them. And with those decommissioning components, it often leaves the town susceptible to risk in the long term when you have to take these components apart that require the decommissioning thing. So something as a cell tower, a battery storage facility, something along those lines are all good examples. Solar's another good example. What ends up happening through these projects is you can purchase a bond insurance, which is similar to purchasing a term insurance. And what it does is it promises that if and when we do need the decommissioning, that company will pay to do so. The problem with that is these companies are publicly traded, they're not supported by the government. They have credit ratings that are lower than government debt. So in my mind, we live in a town that we need to protect ourselves as fiscally as possible. So in the essence of projects coming in that require decommissioning components, my proposal with a new law would be to have those projects require full escrow with either US dollars or US treasuries into an escrow account for those projects. That'll help protect us, where the town can invest those proceeds into a treasury yield bearing account, where we can depend on how we decide, meaning the town, how to allocate, protect ourselves in the sense that we need to take these components away or down in 20 or 30 years. To reference, and just in closing, to reference the other companies, these companies, as I said, are, and I'm not suggesting they could become insolvent, but they're publicly traded and they have to have assets and liabilities to support their balance sheet. There are names that we could all look up that we've experienced that we don't know anymore, but we remember when such and such was around. That could and can happen in any one of those companies. I would prefer to bet with the US government and Uncle Sam in order to protect our little town in terms of disposing of potentially toxic and hazardous waste in the long term. And I don't need to be worried about is XYZ around or ABC. I feel like US government will So what we'd like to do is, next meeting, we'll have it open to public input, and, discuss feedback from the public on that.
Yeah, which is a good idea, and I think, you know, we're gonna need some kind of verbiage drawn up so that, we can enforce this. So that's, I know you said you had spoken to the attorney, I believe, last year, and as of date, nothing's been done, which is unfortunate. So I guess I may have to have another discussion about that also. So, but it's, I think it's a good idea.
Do you want to have them next time?
They want, yeah.
Are you gonna have something written up that the public can review, ahead of time, so we don't walk in cold?
Yes, we'll have some bullet points, just as I discussed, in terms of what it was. Tonight was more or less just to give you a broad, aspect of what I was thinking, and then I'll create a little punch list of what to cover, what to think about, and I'll.
And something,
Can't hear you guys.
to piggyback on this, all right? Just like when we have subdivisions, and all of a sudden, that contractor goes belly up, and they don't have a bond anymore to finish the roads or do things like that. If you know, it's like,
That would be slightly different.
Well,
It's slightly different.
Ventura Gardens. that's
Ventura
what-
Gardens.
Yeah.
So, based on people having bonds that could disappear, that's why he's looking at, rather have a financial secure money instead of
We
having
wanna
a
create
promise.
something not questionable.
Because the problem with a bond is if you don't keep on top of it to renew it, that's what happened up there toward Gardens. You know, nobody picked up on it, and it expired, and the builders took off, and the town had to pay to do that road up there, that subdivision, came out of the taxpayers' pockets.
My question wasn't because I'm objecting to anything that you say, but people are gonna hear about it this way if there's something that they can look at ahead of time so that there's not the, whole rumor mill as to what you guys are doing.
Well,
No, but the thing is too, and that is, if this becomes a law, then we have to have a public hearing. So we'll have to advertise, and then the public could attend and voice their opinion.
Well, Steve just said at the next meeting, the people could come in and ask
Well,
about it.
Yes,
And if they don't know what it's about, then they can't ask.
okay, I mean, I don't know if we'll have the law done in
I'm
a
just
short period of
looking at
time,
the
but.
law.
No, I would
It's
suggest,
open
just-
to meeting.
Right.
so I was suggesting that we would have either in the next meeting or within March, we'll have this public input where we can have all this, I'll put something out where it's bullet points of what I'm suggesting, and we'll make it public.
And maybe
Can we do
the
that, Sarah?
reporter can put it
Yeah.
in the paper.
Say that again?
I said maybe the reporter can put it in the paper.
Yes.
Yeah, Kathy.
I have a question dedicated to Mr. O'Flaherty, only because I've had involvement with it in the past. The EPA, like if it was a toxic waste situation, they will clean it up and they go after the person responsible for it. So what you're talking about, like with the solar, the batteries, things like that, that might come under the, EPA would take care of that problem as opposed to.
I suppose there would be covenants to how and why they would get engaged, and then what circumstances, like for the criteria of what levels of toxic, blah, blah,
We'll
blah.
have to get on the Superfund list.
I just don't I really don't wanna even jeopardize that. I don't even wanna worry about that.
No, I
want
understand
us
what
to
you're
do-
saying, but
Yeah.
you might wanna go down that avenue and, because if somebody's gonna be putting their money out, they might bring that up to the town and say, listen, that's EPA situation.
But
Not necessarily.
That's up to them to do their homework.
No, I understand what you're saying, but
I do agree with parts of what you're saying, cause for instance, in Warwick, they had the fire twice. That's kinda how I remember it, fire twice, right? They measured toxic levels of stuff in the air, and they said it was good. It wasn't good. So I don't wanna worry about the EPA telling me it's good or not, I just wanna know we can clean this up as quickly as possible when it's time to, and hopefully we don't have the toxic stuff. But, the cell phones look different now than they did 20 years ago because they evolved, so the technology will have to be replaced that they're putting in, and then that, at a minimum, costs us to get rid of it. So
But
that's
what-
what I'm just trying to.
what I'm trying to say is you or the town might have to go through the EPA for some of these cleanups.
No, but this is not.
Guidelines.
But we wanna avoid that
I'm
though,
avoiding
Kathy,
that.
that's the whole thing. If we have money put aside to decommission, whether it's a solar farm, or, I don't know so much about cell tower, but I think it's in our cell tower law, then the money's there to do this, instead of having to wait on someone.
We wait on government.
If they don't do it, then we have the money to do it.
You end up having many hands in the cookie jar as well. No offense to the hand that go in the cookie jar when it goes the normal route, but you can clean this up and make towns like ours, where we don't have the ability to pay litigators to go get what's rightfully ours to get cleaned up, we could just fix it right away. So if you want to do it, and you really ideally want to work within the towns, you believe that project is fit for the town, then that's what it is.
So you're trying to do more of a direct,
Yes.
you know,
I just think
approach to it.
Yeah, if you require a decommissioning component to your project, it's broad enough to say that it's required, that we no longer accept what these are called surety bonds, if you wanna research that. And they essentially is like paying for term life insurance. Essentially, you're paying a minimum premium to get a huge benefit at the end. Most of them never have to pay out. These type of things, they create a leverage situation for the companies coming in, because they don't have to pony up the money to take care of the decommissioning stuff. They can just pay a $10,000 premium for 10 years, and versus paying for the full decommissioning component. It's a concern of mine for towns like ours, and I feel like towns like ours that have situations where we, like I said, don't have the means to go after or try to reason through litigious matters, it just becomes too expensive for us to get what shouldn't be already happening. That's what I'm getting at. So
I
we
mean,
can nip it in the bud.
Steve, probably a little before your time, before you were in town, if we look at Clintondale, the dump that they had there, it took how many years to clean that up?
That's
And in the meantime, it polluted God knows how many acres.
And wells
It was
and
all
everything
swamps,
else.
yes.
Right, and it's all heavy metals and toxic stuff, and that's supposedly what we're trying to avoid. Again, I referenced the battery storage in Warwick. That stuff is as toxic as it gets when it goes on fire, so, I mean, no one's running to it to start breathing in the fumes, right?
Well, the hard thing is that they
I'm
can't,
just saying.
they can't put it out, it's gotta extinguish
Right,
itself.
it's a stand, so I'm just saying, so if that's really important, and we need it in the town, then the criteria is, decommissioning stuff.
And like you said, he's gonna send that in. If they had more finances involved,
Interesting.
It'd be a part of doing business.
if you're part of doing business, that they gotta do this, not give a bond that they could run away from, and all of a sudden you're left holding the bag.
And it's not even a run away from, it's just the certainty of the long term, right? I would much rather buy a 10-year or 20-year US Treasury to
Yes.
know that it'll be there in 20 years versus invest in something that promised me essentially the same thing. But like I said, we can all think of the names that don't exist anymore, right? I mean, I don't wanna repeat them, but
Yes.
they just don't exist, and we can remember back to, I remember that one, and they went bankrupt, they're gone. So whether they're in this business or not, they don't provide the service that they once were, and I don't have any interest in finding out if they're gonna be around in 20 years. I have more interest in here.
Will this be bounced through the lawyer or run by the lawyer?
Everything, absolutely, no, everything, and obviously the full board would have to
Yeah, no, I
understand it
understand.
as well, and then public input is crucial, but I think as I expressed, I'm concerned with us, is what I'm concerned with.
We're here to protect the town, not private interests.
That's it, on that then, Steve. Next is, we have here I guess, I don't know if we can combine these or not, we had a littering law that, I guess the last time that was spoke about was, in July
It was a while ago.
2024,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and I believe Councilman O'Flaherty, you and Councilman Hoppenstead were looking into that.
That one and the sign law, I think that's what it was.
Was the sign law and the litter, who's involved with the littering law?
I know I asked you guys 3 times already, or 2 times already, this is, please kind of talk up.
I'm sorry.
Not
Okay.
you, but everybody.
Okay, the
What's
littering
going
law
on?
is, we have a sign that has fines, but we have nothing to enforce it. It's just a sign, we don't have a law in place, so that's what we're looking at now. I actually printed some out, I think I printed out Lloyd, and some of the stuff they go through, and the fines.
So essentially, we have a sign that we can't enforce. It's just a
So we have to put a law in place.
And this way the police could enforce it.
How the sign works.
So that's also gonna be on the agenda here to hopefully.
I think I printed out like the town of Lloyd, I believe. And then the sign law was, it's not for signs,
For on posts.
like for a business, it's, whatever.
On telephone.
On the telephone poles, the signs they stick in people's lawns, even political signs, and just leave them there. We have to get something to clean it up.
And yard sales and this, that, and they leave the signs there and so we wanna get rid of that. So yeah, you can have your sign, but if you leave it there after that date, you're gonna get a ticket.
And I think that law I printed out from the town of Newburgh. For their sign law.
Okay, also now, next is the speed limit reduction on the school zone over here by Plattekill. They have a blinking light, and I believe this board, sent a letter in October of 2025 to DOT, and we haven't gotten a response back, have we?
No, we didn't.
No, that was the right, that's the resolution.
That's when we did it to go from 35 to 25, right?
No, 45, I believe, to 35.
25.
Was it 25?
I remember 25 being the number.
Cause
Okay.
like Walk Hill Middle School, I think they're 25, their speed limit.
And a matter of fact, the police put their sign up here to start teaching people to slow down.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but the reason it's 25 also because a lot of children walk to school,
Yes,
where here they don't, but I'm not saying,
but the sidewalks here, they can't.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Well,
So,
whether it's 25, 35, I think the state would actually determine that,
Yeah, DOT.
cause it's in their hands now.
right, but it'd be nice if we heard something back from
Yes.
them, so.
How do you hear back? You gotta call, you gotta wait.
He's not,
I could call or we could send another letter. I mean, you guys did this before I was here, but we've gotta follow up on it now that,
we gotta send them another.
yeah, it was
letter.
from here to 45 to 35 miles an hour.
Right.
Change the current, but, the change, he wanted to go to 25, and the lights are flashing.
Going to horse and buggy through that. You gotta convert the horse and buggy through the school zone.
Okay, another one for Pennsylvania.
No, so if you make a motion that you give another letter to the DOT, that we want action on this.
Okay,
You could do that.
all right.
If you wanna write it down.
So, do you wanna,
With our new speed sign, we can provide data to back your report up to the state. Actually does a survey of the vehicles that went through and their average speed.
you mean that electric sign that you have on the
The
trailer?
new speed show we have.
Yeah.
So maybe you could put it, did you have the report from when you did it that time? Last year?
We could check, I don't know how long it saves for.
Okay, but if you could do it again,
Yeah.
get that report and get it to us,
Well,
this way we could
the
spend.
weather
some-
breaks.
Yeah, as soon as the weather breaks, because
Yes.
we put that
Yeah,
out
you
with
don't want the
plows.
plows to be
Yeah,
knocking it
yeah.
down and everything.
Do you wanna put that in motion?
I'll make a motion for the police to put up the sign once the weather breaks.
And you just gotta write a letter.
But in the meantime, have Mike Lambo's town supervisor give a letter to the DOT wanting answers on this request.
Okay, the only thing I'll second and then we'll have a discussion.
Yes.
Do you want me to do that now, or do you wanna wait for the information we get from the police on an average, so we'll have an idea?
Want to do that
Do
now.
this first? Okay,
And then, when weather breaks, we haven't heard from them, we could send them that report.
okay,
And that'll be the third time.
Friday, our police department detective monitors this, so he'll be able to give me an answer if we still have data that's already been collected,
That'd be
Well,
fantastic.
which will go with your report.
let me ask you, could you use your radar gun to verify it instead of putting the sign, so you don't wanna take it out now?
Well, we can, under the 1180 section of vehicle and traffic law, there's a specific section for just school zone. But what we'd rather do is get the data collected with this new machine that we have.
Yes.
That displays everything. It tells them what their speed is, but it's also collecting that data. And that way we can forward that to you, we can print it out, and you can accompany that with your letter to DOT. And I think it's a home run for
It'll
them.
say how many cars went through.
So then we should
300
wait till we
cars
get
into the
that
average
before I,
age of
okay.
cars was this.
Okay, well, I'll wait till I hear from
Yes, that would be fantastic.
the police then, and then, okay. So then we'll incorporate that information with the letter, so like you said, we have the data to back it up, and,
And going back 15 minutes ago, I'm glad they're here because we didn't have to wait to get this kind of answer.
glad they're here too. Sergeant feel safe, the village police here, sounds really,
I left my gun home.
Anyway, so there was a motion, second, so we'll amend the motion
Yes.
to say, what's your motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion so we get the data from the police, if they can. If they don't have the data saved, we can still send a letter up to DOT. Or you wanna wait?
I'd rather wait,
Okay,
so.
we'll wait until the weather breaks, this way we can send them the data from the machine, and we can also tell them, we haven't heard from you in 6 months, and this is what we do.
Alright, so then I'll re-second that motion, and, everybody in the vote?
Aye.
Okay. Next is,
Excuse me,
sorry? Rose, go ahead.
what about 4455?
What about it? What do you wanna do?
The speeding on 4455.
Well, it's 45-mile-an-hour zone.
Well, why not make it to 35? I'm coming from 32. I'm going to make a left turn into the driveway, 1825, and I get a car, cut me off on the left side passing me. And I'm making a left hand.
That's a bad spot where you are because of
Well,
the hill.
it's a bad spot. That whole run is a bad spot. Coming out of Freetown is a bad spot.
Oh, I know.
Nobody stops.
You don't have to
Unless
tell
they
me, I
get
can tell you
caught.
how many accidents were there.
I mean,
But-
it's just not feasible.
Well, it used to be, I believe, 55 miles an hour, and then it was eventually, lowered to 45. You know, we could try, but I tried years ago to get a caution light at the corner of Freetown Highway and 4455 a long time ago.
Just like a yellow, blinking yellow.
Correct,
Yeah.
and, cause there's always accidents there, maybe one a month,
The
maybe, but
blind hill.
Right.
it is.
Well,
And-
that's it, the hill is the problem. When I'm coming from 32, I make sure halfway before that hill, I got my signal going, and I'm slowing down. This way people know to stay away. But you do get people cut me right off, pass me by on the left side. How can you do that? They're always hitting the
Ow.
mailboxes by Fazio.
Don't get me started about people passing, but anyway,
Supervisor,
yes,
It's
sir.
dangerous.
a couple things if I may.
Go ahead.
I believe you have the statistics on vehicle stops for our guys. Our guys are out there doing the radar. 4455 has been a problem. We've been addressing it.
Thank you.
We also have issued warning tickets. And just to let you know, once a warning ticket is given, it's documented. In case that person is caught again doing the same thing, then we're gonna be issuing a ticket. We try to look out for the residents, also we're trying to educate them,
Of course.
but we have a speeding problem in this entire town. So my guys have been instructed, if there's two guys out there, create an omnipresence that people think that we're all over. So we go to one spot, next spot, keep going, keep moving around. On the statistic part that you're looking for, we just, Sergeant Bassett just checked with, Detective Wolpert. We have that data. So we'll get it to you right away.
That's fantastic.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Kathy?
Since we are on this subject, this is an area that I've set in, for the school bus, and they even have it at a point up off of New Unionville by Campbell Drive,
Yes.
where they make the adults go across the street to retrieve the children, because, up by where, there's a small hill that goes just coming from like, Lewis Lane
Yes.
to, down New Unionville. But there is a hill that these cars fly over and they're coming and the school bus is stopped. And, it's an accident waiting to happen. I mean, thank gosh for the little kids, they have the adults go across the street and retrieve them, but, car can hit an adult, let alone, I mean, they fly over that little hill.
One of the positive things that I find out with the school buses, they'll have camera systems in them now. It's a civil proceeding, but if you pass a school bus, they have it on camera, and you will get a civil fine.
No, I
Yeah, the
understand that, but
vehicle.
I'm looking at the safety of the
Yeah,
children and
yeah.
the adults that go across the street, because, I mean, I was there one day in particular, quite a while, waiting for a bus to come, and, it's like, not one or two cars, I'm talking about almost every car that comes over that hill.
And that's a narrow road to begin with.
Yeah.
What?
That's a narrow road to begin
Well,
with.
it's not only narrow, it's curved, and you're coming down a hill.
Visibility.
And, I mean, God forbid the roads are slick, I don't know, you're talking about your sign there, but if you got the data from that, you'd be surprised to see. I mean, people will see the sign and maybe, it's only 35 miles per hour speed limit, but I'm telling you, if they're going 45, that's me being conservative.
Well, the other thing is they'd probably have to see if they have room on that road to put that, so it doesn't get hit. That's the
I'm
other
sure Betty would let you put it over by her property.
thing. Well,
But in the meantime, I'm just saying, I'm not sure, if there's a signed school bus stop ahead or, anything that could help that predicament.
Another thing that'll help
We'll go
is
to the highway.
if, I have my chief confidential secretary, if you call during the day and you voice your complaint,
Okay.
what we do is I'll assign one of the sergeants to put radar on that. That's what we did on 4455. And I'll tell you, the word is getting out there that
Yeah.
our guys are stopping cars. A lot of times I get a call, what's going on? What's going on? So what do you mean, what's going on? Well, I see cops stopping everybody. I said, they're doing traffic
They're doing the
enforcement.
job.
So, I mean, but I think that the word's getting out there, and I'm getting less complaints on speeding, which is it's a plus.
Yeah. Well, I think more people need to speak up where there's bad areas.
Sure.
So who do I report that to?
You just call the station,
Okay.
Paula Ronk is my secretary there. Paula Ronk,
Okay.
and she'll take your information down.
Alright.
Also, we have the speed signs, we have one on Forest Road, Sarge, where's the other one?
The flashing.
It's on,
Yeah.
The flashing one.
they just moved it today to,
Not East Road, it was on East Road.
I'll get you.
South Street.
I'll get you an answer, go ahead.
So that's what, we're moving those around,
That's a good
and
idea.
those are helping, because, people see their speeds and all of a sudden they back it down.
I've been here on a Monday night for court, and I was shocked to see some of the speeds that these kids are they were mostly young kids,
Yeah.
17, 18, flying down Plattekill Ardonia
Yeah.
Road.
Yeah.
I mean,
Forest Road, once it got paved, it just like a drag strip.
yeah.
That's
Well,
why
I was shocked to see how many young kids were here with high-speed tickets.
We appreciate your input, let's keep on going.
Okay. All right, next, a new business,
South Street.
talking about memorials at the town park. I know you guys discussed this prior to me.
Yep.
And I know you didn't wanna have benches all over. And apparently you talked about some kind of tree, which you said was expensive. But I think I was talking to you, Willie, or you, James. I was thinking something similar, just was an idea, like the wall like they have down in Washington DC, the Vietnam veterans, where you could have something like that, and names could be etched in that, and probably have it maybe like behind the flagpole or around, or something like that.
Or instead of etched, a brass plate that you could attach, whatever.
Yeah, and the only thing with that, it may, tarnish in the weather over the years, where if it's etched in